You have never actually deleted anything. That embarrassing photo you deleted 3 years ago, there's a real chance it's still sitting inside your phone right now, whole, readable, just waiting. Because when you hit delete, the file doesn't get destroyed. It doesn't even move. It just quietly becomes invisible. And by the end of this video, you'll know the one thing that actually erases a file for good. Because delete, it turns out, isn't it? Think about how strange this is. You drag a file to the trash, empty it, watch your free space jump back up, and it feels gone. Poof. But the space is free and the file is erased are two completely different things, and the gap between them is exactly where all your data is hiding. It's how a recovery app pulls back the vacation photos you thought you lost forever. It's how a stranger who buys your old laptop can open files you were sure you wiped. It's how forensic labs lift evidence off a drive someone spent an afternoon cleaning. So, where does a deleted file actually go? Stick with me, because the real answer will change how you get rid of a device forever. Here's the trick your computer is playing. Picture your storage as one enormous library. Every file is a book on a shelf, but nobody finds a book by wandering the aisles. They check the catalog at the front desk. That title is on shelf 12, row 4. Your computer works the exact same way. The real data sits somewhere on the drive, and a separate little index called the file system keeps the map of where every piece lives. Now, watch what actually happens when you delete. Your computer does not march over to the shelf and shred the book. That would be painfully slow. Instead, it just crosses out the catalog card. One line, gone. The map now reads shelf 12 is empty, but the book still sitting right there. Every page, completely untouched. This is why deleting feels instant, even for a gigantic file. Your computer isn't erasing gigabytes, it's erasing one tiny entry in an index, and it's why your free space leaps up the second you empty the trash. The system now believes that shelf is open for business, but open doesn't mean empty. It means you're allowed to put something here later. And until that later actually arrives, your deleted file is 100% intact and perfectly readable. It's not in a trash can, it's a ghost, standing exactly where it always stood, just rubbed off the map. That's the whole reason recently deleted folders exist, and it's the reason recovery software exists at all. Because if the book is still on the shelf, all you need is someone willing to ignore the catalog and walk the aisles one by one. That is literally all recovery software does. It skips the index and scans the raw storage directly, hunting for the fingerprints of files, the little signature pattern that says a photo starts right here. Find the start, follow it to the end, and it rebuilds your deleted picture like it never left. Ever formatted a camera's memory card, felt that drop in your stomach, and then got every shot back with a free tool? Now you know why. The photos were never gone. The card just told the camera the shelves were empty. And the serious version of this is a whole industry. Data recovery labs and forensic examiners routinely pull files off drives that were deleted, formatted, even dropped or partly broken. Which leads to the uncomfortable part. When you sell or throw out an old phone or laptop, deleting your stuff and even a quick format usually leaves most of it sitting right there, recoverable by anyone who bothers to look. And this isn't hypothetical. Researchers keep buying piles of secondhand drives and phones off eBay and yard sales, and on most of them, they find the previous owner's life still sitting there. Tax returns, business emails, medical records, thousands of personal photos. People who were certain they'd wiped everything. They'd crossed out the catalog card and handed a total stranger the entire library. But here's where it gets weird, because modern gear quietly rewrote the rules. Old spinning hard drives were the perfect crime scene. The data genuinely sat there intact for months. Then SSDs and smartphones showed up, and two things flipped. First, SSDs have a feature called trim that actively clears out deleted blocks in the background just to stay fast. So, on an SSD, your ghost might get swept away on its own, sometimes in seconds, sometimes never. It's basically a coin toss. And second, the big one, modern phones barely bother erasing anything, ever, because they found a smarter trick. Give me 20 seconds, and you'll see why it might be the cleverest move in all of computing. So, what actually erases a file? There are only three real answers. Number one, overwrite it. Go back to the shelf and physically pile new books on top, write zeros or random noise over the data until nothing original is left to find. That's what secure erase tools do. They don't nudge one file, they blanket the whole shelf so there's no fingerprint left to read. Number two, destroy the shelf itself. Physically shred, drill, or magnetically wipe the drive. There's a reason governments do this. It's the only method with zero, maybe. But number three is the clever one, and it's why your phone can erase everything in about 10 seconds flat. Modern phones encrypt everything the instant it's written. Every photo, every message, every note sits on that drive as pure scrambled gibberish, unreadable without one specific key. So when you tap erase all content and settings, the phone doesn't wipe your data at all, it throws away the key. In an instant, every file on the device becomes random static that no lab on Earth can unscramble. The books are all still on their shelves, just written in a language that no longer exists and never will again. And that's the real answer to where your deleted files go. Nowhere. They sit exactly where you left them. The only thing that ever truly deletes them isn't making them vanish, it's making them impossible to read. So the next time you delete something, remember what actually happened? You didn't destroy it. You hid it and you hoped. Delete is a suggestion. Overwriting and encryption are the only real erasers. And if you're ever passing on an old phone or laptop, don't just delete and don't just format. Turn on encryption, then reset it or wipe the entire drive because everything you have ever deleted is still a book sitting quietly on a shelf. The only question that's ever mattered is whether someone decides to go look